John Green, in his book The Fault in Our Stars, wrote, I fell in love the way you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. Yes, this is what love does to us. It just seeps in and stays with us for a lifetime. In this video, I am going to tell you about my personal favorites in romantic genres released after the year 1990. Though being favorites, a conscious decision has been taken not to include the always talked about movies like Titanic, Notebook, and The Fault in Our Stars, as these have been doing rounds on other YouTube channels as well. So this list is a try to introduce you to some of the best gems in the romantic genre. So here goes the list. At number 1, we have The Ghost, released in 1990. Commerce between the living and the dead is the stuff of ghost stories, but when that commerce is love, we move into the realm of Orpheus. This genre, the supernatural romantic fantasy, contains masterpieces. 1947's dashing The Ghost and the Mrs. Meyer, and the 1956 screen adaptation of Rogers and Hammerstein's Carousel. Jerry Zucker's Ghost is not a masterpiece, but it has an aching lyricism unique in contemporary film. Demi Moore, tremulous in a pixie cut, is at her loveliest, and the late Patrick Swayze is a concentrated presence, one of those actors the audience just feels for. He was perfectly cast in the kinetic coming-of-age Dirty Dancing, and he's perfectly cast here as the ardent ghost with unfinished business. Moving ahead at number 2, we have The Age of Innocence, released in 1993. Beautiful and grave from the first strain of Gounod's Faust to the last ray of sun bouncing off a window. Martin Scorsese's film version of Edith Wharton's greatest novel gets richer with every viewing. This period drama was a departure for Scorsese, until then known primarily for street gang and mafia movies. Newland Archer, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, hasn't sold his soul to the devil, but to a gilded idol. His marriage to the angelic debutante Mae Welland, played by Winona Ryder, will fulfill every conventional wish. But in Mae's unconventional, unhappy married cousin, the Countess Olenska, played by Misha Pfeiffer, he awakens to another ideal, the romance of deep affinity. The new love is blocked at every turn, but by whom or what? New York society closing ranks? Newland's own pride of place? Or a moral code that wills out? It's unbearably poignant. This life suspended between two idols. Moving ahead at number 3, we have The Remains of the Day, released in 1993. When a house, the manor and its manners is more important than the people who run it, what happens to love? Where does a life in service end and a private life begin? These are the questions that haunt the realms of the day. The Merchant Ivory film, based on Kazuo Ishiguro's Booker Prize winning novel of 1989, the answers to these questions have consequences that are personal, of course, but also political. Anthony Hopkins as the English butler Stevens, chief of staff for Lord Darlington, is quietly loved by the housekeeper Miss Kenton, played by Emma Thompson. He is so caught up in correctness that he can't see a crime occurring under his nose. When Stevens finally opens his eyes and his heart, he understands, as Edith Wharton's Newland Archer did before him, that being correct is sometimes the wrong answer, equivalent to a crime against oneself. What a movie. Moving ahead at number 4, we have Sense and Sensibility, released in 1995. Every movie based on the work of Jane Austen is romantic, and God knows there are viewers who still haven't recovered from the Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy in 1995's Pride and Prejudice. But that year also brought forth Sense and Sensibility, directed by Ang Lee. From a screenplay by Emma Thompson, it is fiercely composed, almost metaphysical landscapes, it brushstrokes of deep darkness. The movie invokes and then challenges the high romanticism that is one of the novel's themes. The cast is just show-stopping. A young Kate Winslet is too romantic Marianne. Thompson plays a selfless Eleanor, elder sister to Marianne. This movie boasts of one of the best performances by late Alan Rickman. If you are a fan of Jane Austen and Ang Lee, for that matter of fact, this one is definitely for you. Let's move ahead and see what's in store next. At number 5, we have The Bridges of Madison Country, released in 1995. Robert Kincaid, played by Clint Eastwood, arrives in Iowa to take pictures of the area. He bumps into a neglected wife and mother, Francisca, played by Meryl Streep. And with Francisca's family away for a week, the pair indulges in a short but intense romance that lasts in their memories long after it has been over. Such a wonderful movie. I feel this is a movie I can completely appreciate now and maybe would have viewed it differently in my younger years. Definitely a movie that shows you never know that what somebody is feeling or what they have been going through, and you shouldn't go around judging people if you haven't walked a mile in their shoes. Definitely a must watch. At number 6, we have The English Patient, released in 1996. World War II again, zinc bars, cartography in Cairo, the glorious English, and love blossoming like a succulent in strange, dry places. The desert, the plain, the scarf, the cave. Ralph Fiennes in profile and Kristen Scott Thomas stepping out of a bath, afternoon tea, and the Vengerian Liebestard of it all. Anthony Minghell's movie based on Michael Ondaatje's stunning voluptuous novel works on the scale of grand opera, little lives, historic upheaval. Tears, more tears, and we all die alone. This is definitely a movie to catch. Let's move ahead and see what's on number 7. We have Moulin Rouge, released in 2001. The third film from pop music obsessed director Baz Luhrmann tweaks the conventions of the musical genre by mixing a period romance with anachronistic dialogues and the songs in the style of his previous Romeo and Juliet. Ewan McGregor stars as Christian, who leaves behind his father to seek his fortune in Paris. Christian meets John Leguizamo, who introduces him to the world of sex, drugs, music, theatre, and the scandalous dance known as the Can-Can. All that Moulin Rouge, a decadent dance hall, brothel, and theatre. Christian also meets and falls into a tragically doomed romance with the Cortesian Satine, played by Nicole Kidman, who becomes the star of the play he is writing, which parallels the couple's romance and utilizes rock music from a century later, including songs by Nirvana, Madonna, The Beatles, The Queen, among others. In short, Kidman and McGregor shine like diamonds in the sky, proving once again that at least in movies there is no greater thing than love. Moving ahead at number 8, we have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, released in 2004. Joel and Clementine being a relationship post a train journey together, unaware that they had previously been in a relationship, the memories of which were clinically erased. Heartbreaking, thought-provoking, and original. It has the ingredients for the kind of filmmaking that you appreciate more and more upon every watch. The cinematography is beautiful and appropriate. A timeless masterpiece which should be seen by everyone and obviously forgotten by no one. One of the best films Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet have ever done. And of course, Charlie Kaufman's won a well-deserved Oscar for the brilliant screenplay. In my favorite movie of all time, this is one of it. It's one that left a lasting memory which I can't say about most films these days. Let's see what lies ahead, and at number 9 we have A Very Long Engagement, released in 2004. Mathilde, a young woman, embarks on a journey to look for her fiancé Manic, who is a soldier stationed at Somme during World War I and is said to be dead along with 4 other soldiers. Merging heart-wrenching emotions and quirky humor and slicing bloody watch footage with goofy comedy, the movie mixes vastly desperate elements into a surprisingly smooth blend. It sweeps you into the world of its characters and has a striking cinematography. With detail crammed into literally every frame, you would be hard-pressed to find a more imaginative film than this. Last but not the least, at number 10, we have Brokeback Mountain, released in 2005. I know many eyebrows are going to be raised for including this one in this list, but believe me, I could not help it. Set against the sweeping landscapes of Wyoming and Texas, Ennis and Jack are two shepherds who develop a sexual and emotional relationship. Their relationship becomes complicated when both of them get married to their respective girlfriends. They unexpectedly forge a lifelong connection, one whose complications, joys, and tragedies provide a testament to the endurance and power of love. Well, in my heart, this was the best picture of that year. The film was indeed groundbreaking, especially I think for young bisexual men who are lost in what they need and what society expects. Jack, I promise, never has any three words ever been so haunting. Ledger's last line in the film, delivered with immaculate precision, acts almost as a call sign and tears down even the toughest of hearts. This is simply a masterpiece by Ang Lee. What to say about this movie?